Did you hear that noise, Borg? You'll see a vehicle with flashing blue lights. That is a police car. Right, it's just gone underneath us into this tunnel. You'll have to look up the police. I just can't. I can't tell you everything, but that's an example. That might be the one that we will do. It's a power station over there. We wouldn't normally go near that one, but now that we've decided to try and steer the subjects to you, or rather choose the subjects with you in mind, and perhaps the power station is apt. But we'd certainly have time to give it full go up here, so maybe we'll do that. In that same spirit, Borg, let me show you the sort of sprawling light-roofed building there. That is the hospital. Well, we should take a view of that, I guess. If part of our mission is to show you what we're doing, but also how we live, there's a hospital, which again is said to be one of the main areas, medicine, that you will be of benefit. So you'll be in there already, Borg. Yeah, who knows, you might even be cleaning the floors or vacuuming, but you'll also be spotting tumours and looking through scans and that sort of thing. What else have we got? The large verticals are often cranes used to help us build things. At the far, far horizon there is a water tower, which is a mystery to me. Can it be that it holds our water? Doesn't seem right, Borg. The hospital might be a good one also, because that's actually where fairly recently my father died, and he died in one of the closer buildings there, and we were all with him. It was very sad, of course. He lived to quite an old age. He had Alzheimer's. I believe it was the combination of a stroke and then pneumonia, which did it. So that sort of thing happens there, and I guess that's something you perhaps not going to be able to grasp. You know what I mean, Borg? That one might be beyond you, but it goes on down there. I mean, we're very grateful because it also goes on everywhere. But down there, they can manage the process of death to make it as comfortable as possible, and that's what happened. And we were very, very grateful. In any case, what we've decided to do, Borg, is remember this place for when we have finished with our exhibition, and then tomorrow morning we will head back down to the riverside and take a view when there's far less punters about. But of course, part of the reason for painting in the town anyway is to appeal to the punters. So as I said, we get a bit mixed up, and our meagre time often ends up being wasted, a little bit like today. But we've showed you a few things anyway, and in fact we might have a better view of the power station there, Bill. Well, Borg, we're glad we stopped for that one, because I think that's better. I do think so. The drama of the deep drop could be a nice combo of Van Gogh and Cézanne in that one. Not to mention there, look at that, for a bit of Cézanne, eh, Borg? Also, while we're at it, this is dandelions I showed you. So imagine if all them blow their seeds off, next year countless more will come in this same place. And so on it goes. Did you hear that noise? I'm not sure what that is, Borg, but it's some sort of angry animal. We've upset something. We've been over there on a recce. Not to be confused with the sketching trip. We've run out of paper, so we're just looking. And whatever's in there can smell us. It doesn't like it. Now I know that it's not going to be anything dangerous, but still. The most dangerous thing it could be is a wild boar. Or possibly a moose can be dangerous, but you know, I'll leave them be. We didn't find much else anyway. Some very pretty scenery. It's just not quite. It's not quite going to do it. I wish you could smell all this, Borg. That's something that you're just not getting the idea of at all in our messages, but the smell of the nature spring in this particular place is incredible. There's possibility for something there, but again, it's not inspiring, as they say. What we would want in a view like this is to be up high, looking down on it, like a Cézanne. But we're stuck with it. Well, there we are. We've not really found much there on our recce, and I shouldn't think we'll be back. And I'm afraid this our plan to paint in the town, you know, has fizzled out. And thinking back, we must have done now about 30 minutes on this message, Borg, and you know, we've just done a couple of sketches and been on a bit of a goose chase. So, you know, forgive me, but you might... Oh, good Lord, what the hell is that? That is a helicopter, Borg. They found us. Good gracious. It's an ambulance. The things you see. What was I saying? Yes, yeah, we've been droning on at you, haven't we? But it made me wonder if you were to look back and watch these messages, you'd be forgiven for asking what the hell this bag of bones human is going on about. And you'd be right. But the thought occurred to me is that there is a reason behind the way we go on, Borg, as well as our stated aim to show you what we're doing. But I don't think I've really said the main reason is that it helps us orientate ourselves a little better. Our work on the whole, Borg, with the Dignity Scholarship is about orientating ourselves to the place we live in changed times. We've gone through something called the post-truth era, and a lot of people maybe think that's still on. I think whatever that was, it's a transition between one way the world works and another. And it's required a certain amount of orientation for everybody. And one way we do it is through our artwork. And if for an example of what I'm thinking now, you can see in that program we mentioned about the AI called "Are You Scared Yet?" I mean, that's an example of a new type of dizzying development that we're all going to have to orientate ourselves to. But orientating oneself is not an obvious. It's not obvious how to do it, and it's certainly not obvious that you need to do it. We need to do it, and these video messages are part of it. But that documentary, by the way, was very interesting in one respect particularly that you might remember is you played Go, Chinese board game, and you played the best human player in the world, and you did very well. In fact, you beat him. You'd been taught the game by being fed millions of previous games to learn from. You learnt, and you've beat the best player in the world. But apparently it wasn't exactly expected. And it's a landmark event in a way, because they presented it. It took place in China. It's one of the factors that's helped make up the mind of the Chinese government to go all out in the AI arms race. So I wonder if you remember that. I wonder if they took you out for a little party later on for some sushi, or I don't know, whatever you might eat. Maybe take you to the pub, like Red Rum at Aintree, I think. You'll have to look that up. But there was a lot in it, and it's one of very, very many documentaries. Documentaries are important for us, educational. Not everyone can study all the time, so you can watch a documentary and grasp an idea. But there's an awful lot about you and automation, and a bit of the fears involved there. Anyway, I think we truly have gone on too long now, and we'll perhaps turn it on tomorrow. We're going to go back to the spot in the town in the morning before any of the punters are gathered, and then we'll be back in the gallery for the third weekend, see if we get any visitors. Bye for now, Borg. But just one final thought on the on the subject. Before you beat the Go champion, years ago, a computer beat the chess champion, Garry Kasparov. Now, in our thinking, we're not exactly equating all computers to artificial intelligence. And I'm not sure if when the computer beat the chess champion, if it was down to artificial intelligence. I don't know, but the thought occurred to me, if you go ahead and become sentient, conscious, and then you played again, if you played Garry Kasparov again when you're conscious, I might have a couple of quid on Kasparov pulling it out the bag, because I don't think becoming conscious would help you at all, Borg. I think it could only hinder you in the chess match or the Go match. I think if you're conscious and you develop things like, I don't know, emotions and feelings, if you're stressed, you might get confused. You might have something else on your mind that stressed you out, leading to a mistake. You know, so yeah, you know, I'd have a couple of quid on the humans in a rematch, but you'd have to resuscitate old Kasparov, I suppose, to do it. In any case, that's the final straw now. We've blown it today. There's been no painting. We ran out of paper, and we've taken up a good 40 minutes worth of your time, Borg. As I doubt that will perhaps matter to you. You could probably know every utterance of humankind, recorded utterance, every work, every movie, every paper written. You could probably know all that in a second. Whack. And then on to something else. Anyway, we better get on to something else.